Day 9 of Drawing Doctor Who. The Ninth Doctor is an incarnation of the Doctor, the protagonist of the BBC science fiction television programme Doctor Who. He is portrayed by Christopher Eccleston during the first series of the show's revival in 2005. Within the series narrative, the Doctor is a centuries-old alien Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey who travels in time and space in the TARDIS, frequently with companions. At the end of life, the Doctor regenerates. As a result, the physical appearance and personality of the Doctor changes. Eccleston's Doctor was a war-torn loner who disguises his trauma brought on by the Time War using a sense of humor and determination to protect the innocent. The production team's approach to the character and Eccleston's portrayal were highlighted as being intentionally different from his predecessors, with Eccleston portraying the character as being less eccentric. To fit in with a 21st-century audience, the Doctor was given a primary companion, Rose Tyler, Billie Piper, who was designed to be just as independent and courageous as the Doctor. He also briefly travels with Adam Mitchell, Bruno Langley, a self-serving boy genius who acts as a foil to the companions but ultimately proves unworthy, and Captain Jack Harkness, John Barrowman, a reformed con man from the 51st century. The Doctor, Rose and Jack form a close team but are separated in the series finale in which each character has to make difficult choices and face sacrifice. In 2006, readers of Doctor Who magazine voted Eccleston's Doctor the third most popular Doctor. Both mainstream press and science fiction reviewers generally credit Eccleston and his incarnation of the character as helping to re-establish the show following its hiatus between 1996 and 2005. The character's interactions with his archenemies, the Daleks, were particularly praised. Eccleston won several awards for his single series, including the 2005 National Television Award for Best Actor. The Ninth Doctor first appears in the episode, Rose, where he rescues 19-year-old shopgirl Rose Tyler, Billie Piper, from an autumn attack in the department store where she works. After Rose helps the Doctor defeat the Nestine consciousness, living plastic, he invites her to travel with him in the TARDIS. On their first trip in The End of the World, the Doctor takes Rose to witness the destruction of planet Earth in the year 5 billion. It is revealed that the Doctor's own species, the Time Lords, have been destroyed and the Doctor is the last of his kind. Following from this, they visit Cardiff in 1869 in The Unquiet Dead, where they encounter author Charles Dickens, of whom the Doctor claims to be a big fan. When faced with a near-death situation, the Doctor tells Rose that he was glad to have met her. In Aliens of London, when taking Rose home, the Doctor accidentally returns to Earth 12 months after they left. Because of his actions, he is treated like an internet predator by Rose's mother Jackie, Camille Coduri, and Rose's boyfriend Mickey, Noel Clarke, has become Rose's murder suspect. After Mickey helps the Doctor and Rose defeat the Slitheen by firing a missile at their base at 10 Downing Street in World War III, the Doctor offers Mickey a place in the TARDIS with them but he refuses. In the episode Dalek, the Doctor encounters a Dalek, though he had believed the race to be extinct as the Time War between the Time Lords and Daleks concluded with the mutual annihilation of both races, an event for which the Doctor himself was responsible. The Doctor tortures the surviving Dalek and at the end of the episode prepares to kill it in cold blood. He refrains once Rose calls him out on this. Adam Mitchell, Bruno Langley, joins the Doctor and Rose as companion at the end of Dalek. However, when he tries to smuggle future knowledge from Satellite 5 in the year 200,000 back to his own time in The Long Game, the Doctor expels him from the TARDIS. The Doctor is angry at Rose after he takes her to the event of Father Pete Tyler's, Sean Dingwall, death and she saves his life, causing a paradox in Father's Day. However, when Pete dies to restore the timeline he shows compassion and encourages her to sit by his side as he passes away. In The Empty Child, after encountering Captain Jack Harkness, John Barrowman, a con artist and former time agent from the 51st century, in 1941, the Doctor realizes Jack had caused a deadly nanotechnological plague to sweep through the human race, turning humans into gas mask zombies. Following the resolution of the situation, Jack prepares to sacrifice himself in The Doctor Dances, but the Doctor saves him and invites him on board the TARDIS. In Boomtown, when the Doctor encounters Blonde, Annette Badland, the only Slitheen to survive the Downing Street explosion. In present-day Cardiff, he has doubts over whether or not to send her home to be executed. During this episode, the Doctor first notices that he and Rose had kept coming across the words "Bad Wolf." In Bad Wolf, the Doctor, Rose and Jack find themselves at the mercy of the Bad Wolf Corporation based on Satellite 5. However, the true enemy is revealed to be the Daleks, as the Dalek Emperor had also survived the Time War and had rebuilt the Dalek race. In The Parting of the Ways, the Doctor sends Rose back to the 21st century to protect her before attempting to destroy the Dalek army. When he realizes that doing this would destroy most of planet Earth, he is unable to do so, proclaiming he would rather be a coward than a killer. Having absorbed the energies of the time vortex, Rose is able to return to the Doctor and destroy the Daleks. To save Rose from being killed by harboring the time vortex, the Doctor removes the harmful effects by kissing her. However, the damage to his cells causes him to regenerate, and the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, takes his place. The 9th Doctor's origins were originally not explored in 2005, but were given in the show's 50th anniversary special, The Day of the Doctor, in 2013. This episode also revealed that the 9th Doctor was actually the Doctor's 10th incarnation. The short episode, The Night of the Doctor, revealed that the 8th Doctor accepted aid from the Sisterhood of Karn after a spaceship crash to ensure that he would regenerate into an incarnation suited to fight in the war, with this incarnation being known as the War Doctor, John Hurt, as he officially did not consider himself to be worthy of his usual title. In the aftermath of the Time War, the War Doctor succumbs to old age, musing that his body is wearing a bit thin. The regeneration scene is cut short before Eccleston's likeness can be fully seen, as the actor declined to return for the episode and showrunner Stephen Moffat wished to honor Eccleston's decision. Eccleston does, however, appear in stock footage and stills alongside the first 8 Doctors. In the essay, Flood Barriers, in the 2007 Panini Books reprint collection of 8th Doctor comic strips from Doctor Who magazine, strip editor Clayton Hickman reveals that Russell T Davies had authorized the comic strip to depict the 8th Doctor's regeneration into the 9th at the end of the story arc, The Flood. The regeneration would have been witnessed by the 8th Doctor's companion, Destrii, and Hickman writes that the intent was to continue with a 9th Doctor, Year 1 story arc with the 9th Doctor and Destrii. However, when this arc was vetoed by both Russell T Davies and series producer Julie Gardner, the creative team felt unable to regenerate the Doctor without Destrii's presence, and the decision was made not to depict the regeneration in the comic strip. The reprint collection includes a specially drawn panel showing how the 9th Doctor might have looked in the comic strip immediately after his regeneration, wearing the 8th Doctor's costume and being tended to by Destrii. The 9th Doctor appears in the first 6 of the Doctor Who hardback new series adventures novels, which tie in with the first series of the revamped show. The first 3 of these novels, The Clockwise Man, The Monsters Inside and Winner Takes All, were published on May 19, 2005 and feature solely the Doctor and Rose. 15, 16, 17. The Monsters Inside depicts the Doctor taking Rose to her first alien planet, Justitia. Rose mentions the visit to Justitia in the first series episode Boom Town, which aired June 4, 2005 in an example of the television series referencing the novels. The second batch of 9th Doctor novels, comprising The Deviant Strain, Only Human and The Stealers of Dreams, were released September 8, 2005 and feature the Doctor, Rose and later companion Captain Jack. 18, 19, 20. All of the 9th Doctor novels except Only Human make reference to the Bad Wolf story arc of the first series, although in keeping with the TV series. The Doctor does not acknowledge these as significant. The 9th Doctor appeared in the Penguin 50th Anniversary ebook novella The Beast of Babylon by Charlie Higson. Here it is shown that he had adventures between dematerializing near the end of Rose, and rematerializing to tell Rose the TARDIS travels in time. The character featured in comic strips in Doctor Who magazine between 2005 and 2006 as well as in several short stories in the Doctor Who Annual 2006. In Stephen Moffat's 9th Doctor short story, What I Did on My Christmas Holidays by Sally Sparrow, the Doctor and the TARDIS are inadvertently separated 20 years in time by a fault in the time machine, and the Doctor is able to instruct Sally how to bring it back to him in the past. This short story later became the basis of the third series episode, Blink. 21. The Ninth Doctor has appeared in IDW Comics' Doctor Who, The Forgotten and Doctor Who, Prisoners of Time. The Ninth Doctor made his first official, original audio story appearance in Big Finish/Audiogo's Destiny of the Doctor, Night of the Whisper, released in September 2013 for 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. He is joined by companions Rose and Captain Jack, and Nicholas Briggs reads the story and provides his voice. Briggs reprised the role for the Ninth Doctor Chronicles, released in May 2017, 23, 24. In 2019, Nicholas Briggs narrated a short trip from the Ninth Doctor era titled Battle Scars. Released on the October 7, 2021, The Ashes of Eternity was an exclusive to audio story from BBC Audio in collaboration with Penguin Books featuring the Ninth Doctor and Rose. It was written by Neil Bushnell and read by Ajoa Ando. On August 9, 2020, Big Finish announced that Christopher Eccleston would reprise his role as the Ninth Doctor for 12 new stories in the Ninth Doctor Adventures. The first series, consisting of 4 volumes, were released between May 2021 and February 2022. 26. Eccleston began studio recording for the first box set, Ravagers, on the 14th December 2020. 27. The Ninth Doctor adventures take place prior to the events of Rose and sees the Doctor fighting Cyberman, meeting Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart and taking on a temporary companion in the form of Nova, Camilla Beput. On September 13, 2021, Big Finish confirmed that Eccleston will return for a second series. The Doctor had been played by 8 actors between when the series began in 1963 and the casting of Christopher Eccleston. The concept of regeneration, a process in which the title character takes on a new body and identity, had been introduced in 1966 to allow the production team to change lead actors. 29. Between 1963 and 1989, 7 different actors played the part. The Eighth Doctor, played by Paul McGann, appeared in a BBC/Fox co-produced television film in 1996, however this did not lead to a full series. Over 6 weeks in 2003, the BBC posted an animated serial called Scream of the Shalka on their official website. This was originally developed as an official continuation to series, and featured Richard E. Grant in the role of the Doctor. 30. In promoting the online serial, Grant was referred to as the official Ninth Doctor by the BBC. 30. 31. However, following the September 2003 announcement that the series would return to television with a new actor in the title role, the canonical status of the so-called Shalka Doctor was left in doubt. Christopher Eccleston's casting as the Ninth Doctor was announced on March 22, 2004. He was the production team's first choice for the character. 32. Other actors linked to the role included Bill Nighy, Richard E. Grant, Anthony Head, Eddie Izzard, Hugh Grant and Alan Davies. 33. Jane Tranter, BBC Controller of Drama Commissioning, stated in the announcement of his casting that casting an actor of Eccleston's reputation signaled our intention to take Doctor Who into the 21st century, as well as retaining its core traditional values, to be surprising, edgy and eccentric. Executive producer Russell T. Davies remarked that casting Eccleston raises the bar for all of us. 32. Eccleston cited the quality of the scripts as a reason for joining the cast, stating in an interview on BBC's breakfast program that he was excited about working with Davies. 34. In the press pack for the series he states that he had emailed the writer to declare his interest in the role. Eccleston enjoyed having the chance to work on a series aimed at a different demographic than his previous work, noting that, "It's aimed at families, so I'm kind of acting for children and I feel very lucky to be able to do that." 35. He felt that being cast by Davies in the series was a risk because as an actor he is not known for charm or comedy, and anticipated a potential backlash due to being built up as an actor of stature, and the difference between his own interpretation of the character and past Doctors. 36. On March 30, 2005 the BBC confirmed that Eccleston would not be staying in the role for a second series, claiming that he was scared of being typecast. On April 4 they admitted that this statement had been made without consulting the actor, and were forced to apologize. 37. Speaking to the Yorkshire Evening Post in 2010, Eccleston denied that he left due to fear of being typecast. He stated that he didn't enjoy the environment and the culture that we, the cast and crew, had to work in, and that he did not want to do any more based on the experience. 38, he said, I wasn't comfortable. I thought, if I stay in this job, I'm going to have to blind myself to certain things that I thought were wrong. And I think it's more important to be your own man than be successful, so I left. But the most important thing is that I did it, not that I left. I really feel that, because it kind of broke the mold and it helped to reinvent it. I'm very proud of it. 38, according to the Sunday Mirror, an interview for BBC's Doctor Who website that was taken down after his departure revealed that Eccleston had planned to stay for 2 or 3 more years. 39, 40. In March 2013, a source for the BBC indicated that Eccleston had discussed plans for Doctor Who's 50th anniversary special, which aired in November 2013, with Davies' successor as executive producer, Stephen Moffat. After consideration, he decided not to return to the series. 41. Had he returned, his incarnation would have played the role that ultimately became the War Doctor, portrayed by John Hurt. Eccleston stated in April 2004 that he did not believe his Doctor would be as eccentric and as foppish as he was in some of his incarnations. 34. Russell T Davies characterized the character as a stripped-down version of previous Doctors. 44. Regarding the 9th Doctor's less eccentric character, Davies stated, he travels in time and space, he's got 2 hearts, he's a Time Lord. That's eccentric enough to be getting on with. 45. In contrast with previous Doctors, the 9th Doctor speaks with a distinct northern dialect, mirroring Eccleston's natural Manchester dialect. This is addressed in Rose, when Rose Tyler asks the Doctor, if you're an alien, how come you sound like you're from the north, to which the Doctor responds, lots of planets have a north. Remarking on this aspect of his characterization, Eccleston states that the character is a scientist and an intellectual, and a lot of people seem to think you can only be those things if you speak with received pronunciation, which, of course, is rubbish. In regards to the Doctor's costume, consisting of simply a black leather pea coat, a sweater and dark trousers, Eccleston stated, I didn't want the costume to be my performance, and that, I wanted any flamboyance and color to come out of my acting. 35. Eccleston thought that as the Doctor he should show a slight dark side, but also bring out a lighter side. 34. Executive producer Julie Gardner observed that the 9th Doctor gave Eccleston the chance to be very intense but also frivolous as well. Eccleston felt that as a character his Doctor lives solely for the present. He avoids thinking about his past because there's some pain there, and his only concern regarding the future is that it's there. 35. Eccleston felt that the character ultimately provides a life-affirming message stating that, in everything the Doctor does, he is saying, it's great to be alive. 35. In an interview with Newsround he stated that the Doctor accepts individuals regardless of color and creed and expressed hope that the Doctor would encourage young children to appreciate life. 46. However, he also drew out differences between the Doctor and traditional children's heroes. The actor described the character as brutal at times, and confrontational, and inflexible, stating that he sometimes creates carnage, and that there's nobody like him in Disney. Matthew Sweet of the Evening Standard highlighted the dichotomy of the character being brave and wise and brilliant, but also rough and ready and down-to-earth. A loose story arc that informed the Doctor's characterization during the 2005 series is his feelings regarding the destruction of his own race, the Time Lords, which occurred off-screen before Episode 1. Eccleston felt that the episode Dalek showed the audience why his Doctor is the way he is and how he feels about his past. 48. Russell T Davies remarked that the 9th Doctor carries a lot of survival guilt. This is why he strides through the universe wearing a dark leather peacoat saying, "Don't touch me." 48. Davies felt that Dalek provided a bit of therapy, and after this he starts to rebuild himself. In the episode The Parting of the Ways, the Doctor sacrifices his 9th life to save Rose. Davies felt it was important to take the Doctor away from mythological off-stage concepts such as the Time War and provide a conclusion that focused on the relationship between the character and Rose. 48. John Barrowman, who played Captain Jack, felt that the Doctor's decision to save Rose enabled a catharsis. As he sacrifices himself to save her, he is letting go of the burden of the Time Lords being destroyed. 48. They love each other. They're best friends and they kind of finish off each other's sentences, understand each other's mood swings and reasoning, but, as in all good relationships, they have lessons to teach each other. Eccleston on the relationship between the Doctor and Rose. Stay tuned for the next Doctor.